5 points, and the first one was aim for a holistic solution. When an organization or a company approach cybersecurity, it's not uncommon that they try to aim for small case-by-case solutions. The idea is that it is more convenient financially speaking. The recommendation that I have here is to aim for a more complete holistic solution that encompasses strategy, tools, and governance, having a look at the whole ecosystem, the whole data ecosystem that they're trying to manage. It is usually more cost effective to implement, and in the long term, it reduces the operational costs and management overhead. The second point that I wanted to talk to you about was about planning. So plan ahead, try to make cyber security and cyber strategy in general part of your business strategy. So try to define the strategy for the upcoming years, even if it's only a draft. And that strategy should cover the most immediate use cases and the future use cases that you can foresee. Try to identify the future ones so you can develop a roadmap. When you define this future plan, you have an opportunity as well to identify any redundant use case in terms of data. So you can try to streamline what you have in place, and that will help you come up with a cyber solution that is more important, that is more efficient. The next one, in this case, was manage risks. And the way of managing risks is that you need to support the business goals. Okay. Key aspect when managing risks: accept that the risk cannot be completely abolished. There's going to be some risk in place. Okay. Any risk must be recognized. It must be managed in some way or other. But whichever it is, try to start with a baseline of a minimum set of measures that you want to put in place, and then try to understand what your organization or your company cares about. So what is bringing value to the business, and why, and think how those things that the company cares about, what brings value to the company, how it can be compromised and why. All right. From there, the organization can start first accepting certain risks because they realize that maybe they are not compromising their operations so much. It's not so important, or the impact is not so big. The next one is set up a continuous improvement framework. So it is important to keep in mind that cybersecurity, it is not a one-off endeavor. It's not a shiny box that you put in place and you forget about it. And there are new cyber threats coming up constantly. That is usually triggered because we're introducing new technologies in our ecosystem every day. For that reason, and because we are getting new cyber threats basically on a day-by-day basis, it's important to set up a framework that allows us to first identify how we're going to measure cybersecurity performance. So some KPIs that we can measure and keep an eye on. We need to analyze the situation and action on the changes that we need to implement. There are very some good advices from the cybersecurity National Cybersecurity Center from the UK government that I totally recommend checking, as well as looking out for any cybersecurity certification that the company and your organization can adopt. Because those, when you try to get certified, they tell you the things to look at. So at least you have some good idea on the baseline on those KPIs that you need to keep an eye on. The final one, which is very related to the previous point, try to stay updated and engage with communities, especially online. This is more probably an advice for technical individuals or individuals that are tech savvy. Try to stay updated, check for cybersecurity vulnerabilities. There are a few portals that can provide information on that. They're usually reported as CVDs, cyber vulnerability discovery, usually. And try to engage with communities of developers. The reason is that those people are usually the first that can identify a cybersecurity threat. They are dealing with the technology every day, and they have a very, very deep knowledge and very important knowledge on how things can be attacked, even before there is an effective attack. My general advice is that try to don't look at cybersecurity as something that is a separate thing. It has to be part of your overall strategy for your organization or your business. Try to integrate that with your data strategy, with your technology strategy, with your business strategy. Because it's not something that you can solve by installing a new box, a new firewall. It is something that has to be tackled from the point of view of tools, governance, and the human factor of the whole system. Humans are, probably we talked about this before, humans are a very important vector of attack there. So try to build a cybersecurity awareness culture in your organization.